ambassador PO results from Emil.
All right, yeah, let me just share my presentation with all you guys. All right. I'm sure that all of the ambassadors are already familiar with it, but we just wanted to let the community know as well how the ambassador OS works for the Subspace. And basically what it is, it's the peer-to-peer evaluation system. And the main purpose of the tool is to evaluate ambassadors based on their peers' feedback. And we know that a lot of other projects are using different trackers, a lot of them using systems like Crew3, which are usually tracking like how many messages has ambassador sent in a specific time frame, like how active they've been on different platforms and if they've participated in the meetings and etc. And we believe that's not the best way to go. So we decided to go with the peer-to-peer evaluation. And let me just walk all of you through the steps of how it works. The flow is that each of the ambassador share their main like line of work, what they've accomplished during the previous month. And whenever they share their the assignments, the experience, they now have an opportunity to rate three other ambassadors on a 1 to 10 scale based on their submissions. And of course, each of the ambassadors are asked to participate in this monthly evaluation system, but it's the role of the lead ambassadors to really encourage the submissions. And it works this way is that you can only evaluate other ambassadors in case you submitted your results too. And going this route, we're avoid having zero scores for any of the ambassadors. And after random assignment and evaluation, we have an average score across all submissions, and which is basically becomes our baseline. And earlier this week, we had a call with the ambassadors, and we've shared the results for the previous month. So I'm just happy to share it with you too. So that was the first month when we've actually tried to use this peer-to-peer evaluation system. So don't think that being in a green zone or being in a red zone is either good or bad. But yeah, that's how the process is going to be going forward. So really encourage each and every one of the ambassadors to submit their results at the end of each month. And then, as I mentioned, you will get to evaluate your colleagues, the other ambassadors, and we'll be sharing these results monthly now, going forward. Yeah, that's for the Ambassador OS, Mike.
Perfect. Thank you for that presentation, Emil. This is going to come in handy a little bit later when we start backtracking a little bit for those who want to be ambassadors. So following up with that, we're going to move on to Frederick's topic. Frederick is going to be giving our engagement team presentation today. He has a bunch of great things to talk about, how we're getting the community more involved, how we're getting our ambassadors more involved. So I'd like to let Frederick take it away.
Sure. Alpha, can you share the slides, or should I share it from my end? I can share it.
Absolutely, I can share it. Which one would you like to be shared first?
The two-pager one with the
two-pager. Yeah, sure, no problem. Coming right up.
Appreciate it. All right, so thank you, TGI Friday, and thank you all for showing up on a Friday. This is going to be a very high level, I guess, a brainstorming talk of some of the more relevant ideas and notions that have surfaced throughout our work with the engagement team. All these discussions, except for the first one, are up for grabs. Really, they're just thought-provoking notions. They're not formatted. They're not being established. They're just it's just a way of seeding ideas so we can have feedback from the community. Now, first off, a word on the lead engagement ambassador. We contacted the president-elect to discuss the road ahead over the last few days. We held a meeting with him yesterday, and it appears though that new personal and work obligations emerged, consuming, I guess, the entirety of his breathing space. Basically, he was unable to fully endorse the role for the foreseeable month or so, which is unfortunately, obviously, because we know his plan. He presented a very solid plan that was widely supported by the community. Yet we lacked leadership for some time on this front. So readiness to embark and embrace the role in earnest feels paramount to us, feels like a priority to us, as we agreed with Skylar to leave the role vacant for now, which likely prompt us to reach out to Vice President-elect. Ivan, I'll be pinging you shortly if you up to it. On the question of rewards issue, on the call of the community call, we agreed on the fun quiz oriented to education and enticing participants to do some product research. I think this goes hand in hand with that overarching idea to promote entertaining but also educational, so to speak, Trojan horses in our quests. I would argue that especially new entrants willing to jump on L1 wagons like ours, but that do not feel too familiar with our network, would benefit especially from such activities. Of course, we can move forward whether it makes sense to the community. And on this topic, kudos and thankful appreciation to ambassadors who share their proposed quiz questions on the engagement team repo. We didn't forget about it. We just paused for a moment as we internally discuss how to obtain approval for financial and non-financial reward. There are rewards that are connected to these quests. We will most likely start with non-financial rewards. No surprises here. They're the same ones we covered they're the same non-financial rewards we covered in the repo, and that most of the ambassadors have suggested on the repo. No new inputs. We just need to model on how we're going to deploy it and when and the timing. And once we have figured it out, then we can embark more earnestly in the quests. So please bear with us. I appreciate your patience. We can restart the engines once we get this rewarding model confirmed. Now, a quick comment on the AI subject. It's not really a secret. The AI becomes a more integral part of our working tasks, especially in the high-tech sector. Web3, not an exception. Of course, this is just getting started, and most applications out there are still in beta. Probably, a huge learning curve ahead of us. But our group of Subspace works on leverage AI tools to any extent possible. We would love to hear the community feedback on this, whether or not AI sounds like an appealing subject to the community. If so, if you believe so, I'm happy to entertain any AI-related quests. Some of these have already been proposed by the ambassadors, like the best AI image, if I remember correctly. And we could also think of best AI engagement tools, so on and so forth. It's just a thought again. And lastly, a massive shout out to the ambassadors' active participation on the forum, especially on the support category. Also, if you could maybe share the stats I just retrieved. Those stats speak for themselves. There's significant engagement upticks on all charts. Major achievement. Thank you so much. And lastly, connected to the forum subject, and my allusion to Asian Roman forums, to those of you who happen to visit Rome. I live between Rome and Umbria. Those of you who have visited may have noticed that the sacred temples comprise most of the surviving ruins, which this leads many visitors to infer that forums mainly encircled religious constructs. Now, interestingly, a historian, a friend of mine, told me that this actually resulted from the fact that Roman built temples with more robust materials like marble, limestone, so on and so forth. Forums actually, back in the day, involved a way more pluralistic ecosystems, markets, legal podiums to pass judgment, workshops, and most important, a space for a social gathering. The common denominator of the forums of so many elements was the community engagement. So why am I saying this here in this forum? I wanted to brainstorm on whether or not it makes sense to make our forum more pluralistic for community engagement. Maybe not. On this idea, our research team have already created a very active and very interesting research category. We see posts there basically every day. In any case, we more than welcome posts on any subject directly or indirectly related to the nature of our network. For instance, our founder briefly commented on a subject that might be verging closer into metaverse and autonomous worlds, for example, which involve gaming and many other applications. But really, this is just an idea. If you will, and to share, if you want to share any insights or any subject you deem relevant, please don't hesitate. Please don't hesitate to post it or comment on them. Hopefully, if it feels good and natural to you, we can make our forum a bit more pluralistic as well. Thank you all very much.
It's a great presentation. Thank you very much, Frederic. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing pulled off the stage for now. So I just got word from our community member, Anafi, that he is ready to present. So let's see how his mic's working. Anafi, can you say hi to everyone?
Hi all. Hear
How
me?
are you doing? Yes, I sure can. Let me go ahead and get your site pulled up, okay?
Okay, let's start.
Yeah, and then we can go ahead and
Today
start.
I want to present my project, an educational website, pepelon.site. And a small digression, my English is bad, so don't judge too harshly. Так, okay. Let's start with what attracted me to Subspace. The first thing that attracted me was the idea of an energy-efficient blockchain on proof of capacity consensus, and in which farmers maintain neither state nor history, while retaining the security, properties, and the decentralization benefits of a full node. Not many blockchains combine security, massability, and energy efficient. So let's talk about the site. I tried to collect all the important information about Subspace in one place. Also, I really like the official resource where all the adventures and success of the Subspace team are described in detail. But I wanted to do it on my own unique style, supplementing and removing missing and superfluous information. You will find all the basic technological solutions. It's all.
Yeah, that's a really great project. I know that a lot of people sometimes struggle to read some technical materials.
Thanks you for listening.
You're very welcome. I'm just going to scroll through while we're talking about it. Thank you very much. I'm going to pull you off the wing now. That was a great project. I was really surprised when I opened it, when it was sent over to me, how well done it was. So thank you very much. So if everyone can take a look at this, we'll have this posted in a second. I'll post it in the chat so everyone can go take a look, scroll through it. He has a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of broken down into simple terms and whatnot. It's a really, really great project. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and break down the screen share here. We are moving on right now to the support team updates, which I'll be presenting. There isn't too much right now new. Like I always mention this, but our goal with support is to always continually try to just improve, find different ways to be better, find different ways to make the experience for the users just more simplified. So what I have is this. I just want to remind people that if you need help, you want to go to a layer 1 support first. So A layer 0 would be like you're talking to your peers. A layer 1 support was typically ambassadors or a lead ambassador, but there's really easy ways to get in touch with them. The preferred method is always the forum. It's always going to be the forum. It's where a lot of the team members kind of troll around, for lack of better terms. They are constantly on there. I'm sure you've seen Justin Amazoni. He just constantly responding to people. I have mine set to emails. So as soon as somebody posts a forum post in support, I get it. And within a couple minutes, usually Justin's responded. So I try to clean up the ones that he doesn't get, but he's very, very good at responding there. So you can always tag at support L1 on the forum. If you need help in like Discord, you can type ambassador. And on Telegram, you'll see you can't type at ambassador, but they have ambassador tags if you look next, or admin, and those are going to be the people that are going to want to help you. But typically Discord second, forum first is going to be where you want to go. So this is what it'll look like. If you're talking to somebody in the forum, you click on the profile. Obviously, you can see it says support L1. It moves up after that. Like Justin would technically be support L2. And then L3 would be like the actual people coding and developing. So they're behind the scenes. We try to filter it until it gets to them. Because, if you think about it, if you just look through the forums on every day, or the Discord on every day, a normal day, there's a lot of the same issues, just maybe presented differently, that people don't understand why is it the way it is. But really, they're just talking about the same problem. They just don't know how to search it. So that's what we're here for. That's what L1's here for. Okay. So this is going to be a behind the scenes document. You guys aren't going to see this, but I just want to let you know. It's more so to just let you know that when we tell you we're helping you, and when we are addressing these problems, it's not just going into the Netherverse or the subspaces of the world and disappearing forever, and you don't know where it is. We try to collect them in an internal bug tracking document. The first iteration was on Google Sheets. The team has upgraded it to use our Notion site. So it has a lot of data that can be put in here. We can generate how many times the same issue has been updated. And if we can't figure it out, we just bump it up. We provide as much information as possible, which is why we always ask if you could provide more information you could provide about your system, the conditions that you got to create the bug. As much information as you can give, it's better for us. It helps the team hone down on it. And when you see a new iteration, Gemini 3C to 3D, these are usually why, So that being said, I just always like to show the official links to our socials and stuff like that. So people that maybe if this is your first time here and you just happen to stumble in, you know them. So I'll post them in the chat. That's the forum. If you've never seen it before, I highly suggest you check it out. It's very, very helpful. And that is going to be it for the support updates for this week, this month, I should say. And now we're going to be moving into something pretty exciting. This announcement hasn't been said yet. An official announcement will be going out after this call, but you guys are in the front row seats. So we're going to be talking about the next ambassador cohort. So the next ambassador cohort is going to be coming up soon. And by soon, I mean basically now. So from right now to 10 days, you can apply to become an ambassador. If you see a little green button on the bottom right there, don't worry about doing it right now. But you have 10 days, which would be May 8th, I believe, is when the final submissions will close, and begins the selection process of the next ambassador cohort. So while that's up, I just want to go ahead and talk a little bit about what it means to be an ambassador, what you can expect as an ambassador, because there is some work to it. It's not unreasonable. I find it very very reasonable, especially as a lead you're expected to do quite a bit more. But there's a lot of opportunities to grow in the Subspace community, the crypto community, and as ambassadors here. I love it. I've been an ambassador for probably going on like 16 months now. I believe Emil as well is the same. Me and Emil got on together, so we've kind of grown together. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and show some ambassador perks of what you get coming along with being an ambassador. So if you look here, this is public information. There is a token allocation that you get for being an ambassador. You go through a trial phase, and you can get different levels of ambassador tokens depending on if you're a just ambassador or a lead. But you basically get a fair and paritable split of tokens based on how long you've been an ambassador and what rank of ambassador you are. So right now we are very, very much looking for quality ambassadors. There's been a ton of ambassadors that we had, and they started off strong, but either their time commitments are unable to continue, or they're doing too many things at once. So we're the initial projections of how many ambassadors there were going to be. We're close, but we're not quite up to where we need to be. So that just means that there's a lot of opportunity for new people coming on that would like to be ambassadors. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the next one up. So this is just the same. It's on the same page talking about ambassador perks. There is a 2-year vesting period for ambassadors for your tokens. For leads, it is actually 4 years. There's a cliff of lockup for when the tokens are initially released, and that's going to be on mainnet, but that will be that'll be coming down the line. It'll be more clear, but long story short, mainnet has to start for the tokens to start being released. But your vesting period starts as soon as you become an ambassador and complete your acquaintance program. So let's just say that you've been ambassador for a year, right? But mainnet doesn't start till after you decide that you don't have the time commitments anymore. You still have a year vested. And after mainnet launches, there would be a 6-month cliff. And then you would start getting the year of tokens that you earned after that, even if you're no longer part of the program. So we want to reward people that are contributing to the program, even if their time, if they're not able to commit the full time. So the thing with this, though, is Subspace is a very open community, and our ambassador program is very open as well. We very, very much encourage people to be the ambassador that they want to be. Pick what cohort you want to be in. Pick what group you want to be in, whether that's engagement, support, engineering ambassadors. If you want to make up a new type of ambassador, if you have a plan for it, we'd be able to support you in doing that. But you do have to understand that as a regular ambassador, there's probably about 4 hours of things that you have to do a week. So some meetings you have to attend. You need to attend a certain amount throughout the years, and it's a reasonable amount. We don't have a ton of meetings. And then you just have to be active and participating. The biggest thing is you'll be expected to run a node, and you'll be expected to help the community. All of this is in the application that's linked right below this. It explains it in more detail if you're going to forget what I said, or I'm tripping over my tongue and you're not understanding what I said. But either way, it's there. Okay. So besides that, like I said, you guys are getting a first crack at the nut. It'll be posted as an official announcement after this call is completely done. And while I'm talking about this, I just want to remind you, over to the right, you can ask questions. So there's a Q&A. You can submit your question. We'll give it a little bit before we close the call out. And then that'll be it. And the call will be recorded. It'll be posted on our channels like we normally do, in case you want to go back over this and see it. That's it. So I just like I said, I'd like to remind you that the applications are now currently open, and they'll be closing in 10 days from now. If you have any questions about the time commitments, what it takes to be an ambassador, what's expected to be an ambassador, if it's not clear in the application, please just tag one of us on Discord or the forum, and we'd be happy to answer you. So I'd like to round it out by asking Emil how his ambassador experience has been. And Frederic, if you'd like to talk about from a team perspective how it's been for you, if you like, and then we'll take any questions that have lingered, and then we'll close the call out.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to think about it. I've been an ambassador for over a year and a half now. It's just been so long time ago, and so many things has changed. But I still find it very, very exciting to work on any project that I've been assigned to or that I wanted to lead. And for me personally, one of the main advantages is I got to know so many great people that I always happy to chat with, to listen to their opinion, and just simply talk to. So for me, it's been an amazing journey. And of course, during this year and a half, we've seen a lot of great improvements to the program. Even if we take the onboarding, we didn't have a lot of materials when we've started, so we were mostly learning about Subspace through the chats, through the calls with the Subspace team, and now all this information has been has turned into different presentations, documents that we are sharing with the apprentice ambassadors. And of course, each of the ambassadors get their own mentor. So they each know the person they can reach out to in case they have any questions with regards to the technology, to the team, to the ambassadors program, basically with anything. So you just know that during your educational onboarding process, you'll always have someone to talk to and someone who will assist you during that time. So yeah, overall, I'm really happy to be here. Really excited to see what's coming in the future.
Great. I gotta reflect those sentiments as well. It's crazy to think that we've been doing this for over a year. Time's flying. We've had a lot of support. We've seen so much change from the way that things are done for the good, for sure, for the betterment of Subspace. And the day that we actually launch the mainnet, I'm gonna be ecstatic because you know, I would say I was relatively new to crypto. I've been in a couple of years, but you know, not people that were buying Bitcoin for a penny or whatever it was. You know, when gas was a nickel and you can buy a meal for 10 cents or whatever. But anyway, so I'm super excited about this, and just being behind the scenes and seeing and having the team explain stuff to us, and then meeting people like Emil and Big Jim, Frederic, Diana, just everyone that I've met along the way has taught me a lot. So it's been great. Frederic, how do you feel about the ambassador program from a team perspective?
Well, of course, it might sound self-serving, not as part of the group. It might sound self-serving to pronounce these words, but what I've seen of this ambassador program is unprecedented and truly outstanding. I've observed other ambassador programs on other servers, and this one, it really it's an outlier on so many levels. Commitment, readiness, transparency, ideological alignment, and if I may select one, is trust. The level of trust is really impactful, and it makes me feel privileged to be helpful to some extent and to be a part of it. Like, thank you all so much.
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from an outside perspective, because I do feel like we as ambassadors, you know, we've done a lot to try to build a program, and just because I you know end up being on camera a lot or I talk a lot doesn't mean that we have a lot of ambassadors that do so much behind the scenes. I'm sure people have seen Anna on Telegram and Discord, Ivan, Big Jim, Jared Washburn. Just there's so many names that I'm forgetting, and I know that I'm missing people, but thank you to all of my fellow ambassadors. You can't have lead ambassadors. You can't have the program without ambassadors doing it collectively. So I'm looking forward now that we have the ambassador OS that Emil was talking about earlier, to moving forward and allowing more opportunities for more lead ambassadors to step out of the shadows and for people to see their contributions. And with that being said, We still don't have any questions, which is okay. Questions can always be asked, answered if later. I'm sorry. If anybody thinks of something after the call and you're like, as soon as the call hangs up, you're like, damn, I wish I asked that. Please just post it in Discord. Please post it in the forum. Within the day or two, I'm going to try to have the event summary for people that missed it, of what we talked about here in the call, and I'll place that on the forum and Discord like I normally do. So that being said, thank you everyone for coming to the community call today. Again, if you missed this application, if you didn't get a chance to click on that button right there, the team will be posting an official announcement across all its media pages for the cohort selection process. And I really look forward to seeing some of you there. The people that have been here, that are in the nitty gritty, listening to these little talks. I think it'll really benefit you when you go through the application process. So thank you very much, everyone, and I hope you have a great day.
Thanks
Thank you
everyone
all
for coming.
In this, and thank you everyone for participating.
Yeah, really excited about reading your application, and getting to know you better. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Great. All right. This is Subspace Ambassadors and team signing off.